According to British Security Service memos, the Russian police are claiming to have had me in custody at some point during 2013 on a firearms charge. Indeed, due to my amnesia, I can't remember this, so it's all very interesting indeed. The Russian police are attempting to make arrangements with the British security services for my extradition, so it's all very interesting. I'm wanted by the Russian police, so though I'm not entirely sure why, so it's all very strange indeed. These Russian policemen are heavily implicated in the organ traffic from Novosibirsk to the Western elite. So it's interesting to consider that the Devizes Walter Rosenson's butcher shop organ harvesting cartel provides organs for the Russian elites, while a Russian mob / Russian police cartel in Novosibirsk provides organs for the Western elite. So it's all very interesting to consider that, considering it would surely make more sense for the operations to be run domestically. However, foreign intelligence directorates of Britain and Russia have to outsource the organ harvesting. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed the Walter Rosenson's butcher shop operation is a Russian intelligence, i.e. GRU and SVR operation, while the organ harvesting cartel done in communication with the Russian police in Novosibirsk is an MI6 operation. Indeed, that should get you thinking. The MI6 control the organ trade in Siberia and Russia, while the GRU and the SVR, i.e. the Russian Military Intelligence Capacity and the Russian Foreign Intelligence Directorate, control the organ trade in Wiltshire. So it's all very interesting to consider, and you must also consider the operational capacity of Israeli spies in this intermingling of intelligence operations. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, it seems that a lot of my troubles over the past 6 years have been due to my exposure of the organ trade and the organ traffic. So it's all very interesting to consider that Walter Rosenson's butcher shop have a hit on me at the moment by an Israeli spy ring known as the Nebuchadnezzar Mafia. So it's all very interesting indeed. I believe that took a lot of time to arrange. Indeed, the hit is designated to be at 1 p.m. today. So I'll make sure I'm in the town centre. So it's all rather interesting that this network of butcher Freemasons are resorting to utilizing their connections with the Nebuchadnezzar Mafia, who are operative from Tel Aviv, to murder me for exploding the Walter Rosenson's butcher shop ring on YouTube. Indeed, Walter Rosenson's operatives have attempted in vain to have me removed from YouTube and arrested for libel. It's all very interesting to consider indeed. This is an organ harvesting operation operating out of Walter Rosenson's butcher shop, run jointly by the Russian police and the GRU. So it's interesting to consider indeed the Russian police have a lot of interests regarding the Walter Rosen butcher shop circuit. So it's interesting to consider, just as Wiltshire police have a lot of interest in the Novosibirsk organ traffic. Indeed, these are all co-joining networks involved in this overall organ harvesting and distribution enterprise. Indeed, you have to consider production distribution. Indeed, The majority of the test subjects provided to the Roundway experiment are Russian heritage mental patients and homeless, kidnapped off the streets of Russia and taken from secret psychiatric facilities to Vladivostok and then transferred via ship to the Barnstable region, where they are taken by Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop vans and Albanian mob lorries to Devizes and kept in secret underground facilities, such as those beneath the Low Booth family residences. Indeed, the Low Booth family of Devizes are key Sabbatean operatives and connected to the entity, which means the Low Booth family have a connection to the Ninth Circle cult and the various networks of child abductors around the countryside here. That includes PC Stuart Welsh of Calm Police, who is chiefly operative for the Nebuchadnezzar Mafia percentages of the Octopus, therefore a Mossad hit squad and child abduction fraternity. So it's all very interesting to consider how all of these interconnecting networks link up in this overarching criminal enterprise, which is here in Wiltshire, coordinated by Special Branch, i.e. Britain's counter-terror capacity, and the Wiltshire Police Headquarters, especially the offices of Philip Wilkinson, the Wiltshire Police Crime Commissioner, who is fully aware of Ninth Circle activity and is continuing his predecessor Angus McPherson's gun-running operations with the Kurdish mob. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, those 76 mental patients that died attempting to expose Devizes between the years 1989 and 2001 were onto the Octopus, and that's why they were silenced. Indeed, an exposure simply of mind control experimentation would have led to cries of absurdity among the Wiltshire population. However, they've begun to zero in on the criminal syndicates operated from Wiltshire Police Headquarters, and the fact that the entire town of Devizes is demonic indeed. The Freemasons of Moonraker Lodge number 8747 put certain chemicals, such as acetone, I believe, and rohypnol, in the water supply, which is causing the Devizes populace to behave as they do. Indeed, they are demonic. Even other residents of Wiltshire have noticed the fact that Devizes has a very strange and very creepy energy within its town limits. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the level of fluoride is also far higher in the water supply in Devizes. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Devizes population are servile to the 49 elders of Devizes and are content going through life, raping toddlers and having sex with harvested organs. So it's all very interesting. Also, the level of incest in Devizes is far higher than any other town in the country due to the manipulation of the water supply and certain genetic traits. So it's all very interesting considering. I commented before that PC Joshua Dowse of Devizes Police looks like his family have been inbreeding and committing cannibalism for hundreds of years. So it's all very interesting to note this. Indeed, slight autism that is found among many Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst operational neo-Nazi satanic groups is not a mental illness in the same way that schizophrenia is. So these neo-Nazi satanic operatives who claim mental health problems are talking shit. Slight autism is nothing compared to full-on schizophrenia. Indeed, full-blown schizophrenia requires the Masons to subject you to torment and infest your brain with entities that basically destroy your senses and destroy your life. Indeed, the Masons do this because they know the selected individuals within the community are of the 20 to 30% of mental patients that Itzhak Bentov summarizes are those of a higher stage of evolution. Indeed, although before they are chosen by the Masons for demonic infestation, they are not considered mental patients. However, the Masons know that these are the 20 to 30% of future mental patients that are of a higher stage of evolution, and therefore this is why the Masons choose to infect this 20 to 30% of paranoid schizophrenics with an infestation of parasitical demonic entities. So, if that makes any sense, indeed, the Masons have basically destroyed me. Indeed, the majority of my full-on psychosis and schizophrenia symptoms emerged while I was at Grenville Lodge. So I was in the domains of the Freemasons and Hellfire Club operatives that constitute the Masonic body of Grenville Lodge number 1787. Indeed, they chose me as a patsy for an overarching Sabbatean agenda, which was meant to take place in 2014. Though with me having fled the country, they were not able to patsy me in the way they wanted to do. Indeed, so they've been building up plans to patsy me ever since. Indeed, MI5 still have a plan to patsy me, utilizing the Blackwell legacy. Indeed, it is rumored that it was the schizophrenic Michael in 1954 talking about Israeli connections to the Roundway experiment that got the Blackwell legacy put on him via Archibald Blackwell, an MI5 operative, with several links to foreign intelligence services who basically utilized Michael as a patsy and set him up as a supposed Soviet spy and had him locked in Broadmoor for the rest of his life on charges of treason, unable to talk to anyone but the staff in solitary. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the Lighthouse Network, via the Blackwell legacy, apparently have something very similar planned for me. The only difference being is that I will undergo a lobotomy, which they did not do to Michael. So it's interesting to consider the Lighthouse Network, who are Order of Nine Angles operatives, wish to lobotomize me, then steal my conspiracy theories, trick switch them to the Order of Nine Angles agenda, and give the theories to Cass Lynch, and then make out on the internet that Cass Lynch is the best conspiracy theorist in the United Kingdom. So it's interesting to consider that this is the plan of the Lighthouse Network, and it all interconnects with vermin, known to townsfolk as Cass Lynch or Cassius Lynch, who is a truly envious and jealous human being, attempting to bot me off, to bring glory to the Order of Nine Angles, which will basically allow for the Order of Nine Angles to rise in popularity amongst English people. So it's interesting to consider there are a large network of English people in Wiltshire aligned against me because they don't like my exposures of British institutions such as the police and the British Masonic lodges. It's interesting to consider how servile the British population are and how they expect the police and the government to sort everything out for them when it's the police and the government who are causing them the problems. So it's all very interesting indeed. This exposure of the organ trade is going to continue. Indeed, I've also stated that the Walter Rose and Sons and Butcher Shop are also heavily involved in the cannibal meat trade and provide a lot of the cannibal meat to the Ninth Circle cult operating out of the manor houses across Wiltshire and the West Country. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. Devizes residents are also addicted to cannibal meat, i.e. the pork sold at Wiltshire and Sons butcher shop. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. This organ trade exposure may well end up getting me incarcerated in a psychiatric facility, most probably Green Lane, where I will be under the supervision of Doctors Peter Cohen and Peter Crofts, both of whom I've exposed on this channel as Mossad operatives and therefore involved in child abduction rings in North Wiltshire. So it's interesting to consider indeed. Dr. Peter Crofts is himself a pederast and keen angler, so it's interesting to consider this. Indeed, this is the thing. I have a feeling I may be alright due to certain continuums locally are beginning to realize I'm not a Russian spy. I'm a mental patient who's being patsied by the British intelligence services and the British police, which is exactly what's going on indeed. The British intelligence services are heavily compartmentalized, and the majority of lower level operatives do not have a clue what's going on. However, the higher orders of British intelligence are sabotaging aligned and coordinated by the DVD and the Mossad, and therefore want to bring these exposures to a close. The British police are 100% in totality, especially in here in Wiltshire, baying for my blood. Indeed, it's interesting to consider this. Indeed, Wiltshire police have always hated me. They have persecuted me, harassed me, mistreated me, beaten me, raped me, and trafficked me. Interestingly, Wiltshire police have trafficked me several times, so it's interesting to consider what is going on. And indeed, Wiltshire police want these exposures to end, to protect themselves, now that people are beginning to talk about what this lunatic is saying on his YouTube channel. Indeed, the thing is, I may be a lunatic, but I'm deadly serious about Wiltshire Police's criminal enterprises and their interconnectivity with Donmecco operations and Ninth Circle child rape and child sacrifice locations across the county. Indeed, as I've stated before, PC Stuart Welsh has carried out Sayanim operations for the Mossad involving the trafficking of female toddlers to the rape rings around the manor houses of the county. Indeed, PC Miller is an operative of the Mossad also, and has carried out several abductions of twin girls under the age of 7 for the British Police's personal child rape covens. And indeed, these covens include the Commissioner, i.e. Philip Wilkinson. So it's all very interesting to consider, and it's all really awful indeed. Wiltshire is a terrible place now to be a child. We're in a county where parents of children are guilty for selling their children to traffickers, and indeed this is happening all across the county at the moment. Wiltshire parents are selling their daughters to traffickers and rape gangs. So it's all very interesting to consider and truly awful indeed. The British people have become so content in ignorance that they do not regard any exposures as truthful because they're scared of the truth. So it's all very interesting. The Wiltshire residents are scared of the truth, and the smokescreens that Devizes residents are creating are truly satanic in their nature, in their attempt to cast me as evil when anyone can see I'm a sweet mental patient with sweet facial features and a sweet disposition. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, whatever the Devizes residents are planning in regards to me, I don't think is going to work. Indeed, I'm going to leave it there.